Welcome back. SABC's news reporter Puleng Modupe has written a book about the Big Hole, a tourist attraction in Kimberley in the Northern Cape province. Lerato Segalo caught up with her and sent us this interview. Let's take a look.
Good morning. We are joined by SABC journalist Puleng Modupe, who is also now an author, to tell us more about her book titled Big Hole. Puleng, welcome. Good morning.
Thank you. Big Hole is a fiction actually about the collapse of the Big Hole. It lies upon a young girl to eventually save Kimberley. Because now what I did, there were fears that the Big Hole was caving in, and then Bultfontein, which is adjacent to the Big Hole, was cordoned off with fears that the traffic might exacerbate the situation. So I just took that information and said, what if the Big Hole was to collapse? Hence, I came up with the book, The Big Hole. And then the young girl, she hails from Hondatlap Bay, which is a small town in the Namakwa land. She has special powers that she's given by the she liaises with giant snakes in the sea, like in the oceans, in the rivers. She has those powers to liaise with them. So now they tell her that there's something missing out of the Big Hole that was taken by the miners who were digging for diamonds. So it's up to her to find that something and put it back where it was found initially. Yeah, I can't say much more than that because now people will have to go to the bookstore to go and buy the book so that they can get to know more about it.
What inspired you to write the book?
Well, to be quite honest, I've always wanted to be an author. Before I went into journalism, I studied a lot about being an author. What is it that you need to do? But quite amazingly, actually, you don't need that much qualifications. You just have to sit down, put pen to paper. But I did my research, I went online and all that, and I eventually sat down and said, let me just do this. It took quite a long time to finish this book because now being the SABC journalist in the Northern Cape, you don't simply have time to do whatever because people need to understand that the Northern Cape is quite huge. You know, there are times where you spend between 8 to 10 hours in the car only traveling, and then when you get there, you actually have to start working as well. So it took me a lot of time, but now eventually I managed to finish the book because now the publishers, they were also sort of on my case, checking with me on like how soon can we get the book. You know, they wanted the book because I sent them the first few chapters and they simply loved it.
Did you ever think that you could write a book?
I have actually. Since I was, before I finished school, I made a few attempts before, but I only did about a couple of chapters and I wasn't happy with it, so I never made an attempt to submit that to the publishers. But with Big Hole, you know, I had that thing that kept on pushing me, saying that no man, this you have to finalize as well. So I guess I can say that I've always wanted to be an author.
Any future plans in terms of Big Hole?
Yes, in fact, I'm halfway done with my second book, and I have also submitted the first few chapters to the publishers, and they are quite happy with it. It's not about any giant gaping holes, you know. It's much more like sort of a modern fiction book. It's fiction as well. That's what I like. And I had to do a lot of online research on that one as well. But I can assure you that people are going to enjoy it as well.
If people want to purchase your book, where can they buy it?
The book is available out in stores. What I know is that, I went into the store, the Book, Music and Art store. I saw the book there. They have it on their shelves, and it's quite cheap actually. It's only about 139, so it's quite cheap. It's affordable. I'm not sure about any other stores yet at the stage, but those who want it can also order it online. They can log on to the website of the Music Book, Music and Art, or the Publishing World company to order the book.
That was Puleng Modupe, SABC journalist who is also an author, chatting to us about her book titled Big Hole. From me, Lerato Segalo, it's back to the studio.